This is Dabu7. We have seen stock market manipulation left and right, and we have seen the situation in 2008 that affected markets globally, affected a lot of people, but thankfully it was not a stock market crash that put us into a Great Depression, so to speak. What we have is certain individuals out here that are timing out disasters like that, like the last 2008 event that went down. There was a lot of people that lost in that, but believe it or not, there was a lot of people that got super rich by timing it out. And we have one mystery investor now making a bet that if he wins this bet, he'll make $262 million. And the bet involves contracts laid out that the stock market is going to crash by October. Now, every year, you hear the same thing. But when you start to see money being moved in massive amounts and big bets being wagered, that is when you really need to pay attention, because they can talk about it, they can say this and that all they want, but when the money starts getting pitched around, when contracts are being signed and put into place, and that's what this guy did here. He put into place, as an investor, he sold 262,000 VIX puts that were expiring in October with a strike price of 12. He then used the proceeds to buy a VIX 1x2 call spread, which involves buying 262,000 October contracts with a strike price of 15 and selling 524,000 October contracts with a strike price of 25. Now, for reference, bullish call spreads are used when a moderate rise in the underlying asset is expected. Traders buy call options at specific strike prices while selling the same number of calls of the same asset and expiration date at a higher strike. So they're trying to buy them on the lower, selling them at the higher strike. And in a perfect scenario where the VIX hits but doesn't exceed 25 before October expiration, this trader would see a whopping $262 million payout. And this is just one of many that are making moves like this. This just so happens to be one of the most outlandish, the bigger ones, that some people are like, are you kidding me? That's a massive wager, but they're seeing others doing the same. Many saying that it's in a bubble. Now, I want to stop right there and remind you, if you've missed some of my recent reports and talks about DB Bank, the branches out of Germany, you have the banks out of France that just got busted. These companies have been busted manipulating gold, silver, your precious metals, the housing market. The whole thing's rigged. They got a smack on the hand. Nobody went to jail, and they're still doing it as I speak. That's how you know this whole thing is rigged. So when it's going to come down, it's going to be a planned event. It's not going to be known by the masses. But there are going to be some individuals that have insider knowledge that are going to see something coming down the pike. So you have to pay attention to some of the moves made out here by individuals. And it doesn't mean there's going to be a massive crash in October. This guy could just lose out. But bottom line, something is in the offing. And this thing is completely set up. Now, I want to remind you this, and I'm going to talk about this more here in the future so people realize there are points in history where you completely abandon the money system. Was it 1834, I think? The British that had always used tally sticks. Okay, this is where we're going to tally up the total. And the stock market, they came from little pieces of stock wood that people wrote down their transactions on. Okay? What they did is they came along and realized we got to do away with all of our war debt and all this other stuff. They couldn't raise inflation high enough to satisfy the people and make it work without a revolt from the people. So what did they do? They did away with the whole tally system. They even went as far as to coming and confiscating it from people in their homes. And what did they give them in return? Paper money. And paper money became the new system that has been used. With facing the exact same scenarios, with inflation rising, it's hitting that same breaking point. So is there another vehicle around? Well, there just so happens to be, and you better be paying attention. I'll talk about all this more in an upcoming video. I'll leave a link for this below. It's been Dabu7. Eyes open.